Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Munaya Nikma Rosyada, a PhD student from Faculty of Education, Universitas Islam Internasional Indonesia. In this video, I will try to present my critical analysis for cognitivism learning theory. Cognitivism emerged around 1950s to 1970s in response to behaviorism limitation. This theory emphasized that learning is not just behavioral, but involves internal processes. Based on book titled How People Learn To, memory is not static, rather it is dynamic and reconstructive, shaped by prior knowledge and experience. Several key processes in memory can be seen on the slide, starting from reconstructing memory in the brain to retroactivate it. For further reading, you may pause the video. Memory is divided into two: working memory, which is limited and temporary, and long-term memory, which stores information more permanently. You can identify three categories of long-term memory: procedural, episodic, and semantic memory. This theory connects directly with cognitive load theory, a major implication of cognitivism. This theory argues that learning is influenced by cognitive structure of the brain, which is the limited capacity of working memory. If instructional materials are too complex or poorly designed, they overload working memory and prevent the effective encoding of information or knowledge. Therefore, educators must reduce unnecessary cognitive load through work example or goal-free problems. Progressive complexity is also needed to make sure that knowledge acquisition is gradually developed. Another key cognitive mechanism is executive function, which refers to brain's ability to manage thinking and behavior. It includes self-control and cognitive flexibility. Learners with well-developed executive function tend to sustain attention and adapt to change, but in contrast, impairment in executive function may appear in learning disabilities and attention disorder. To better understand and broaden the perspective of cognitivism, we will discuss about strength of it. Based on Schuell in 1986 and Hapsi et al. In 2023, cognitivism emphasizes active individual learning and promotes creativity, allowing learners to construct knowledge in diverse ways. The theory also focused on individual understanding and supports knowledge construction. However, this theory also comes with limitations. First, based on the study from Dunwoody in 2006, it often overlooks the influence of social and cultural context on how students retrieve and processing information. Moreover, educators may struggle to monitor each learner's internal cognitive processes, especially in big-sized classrooms. Lastly, students with learning disabilities may also find traditional cognitive approaches less effective due to impaired executive function and memory processing. Next, we move to educational implications of cognitivism. This theory supports learning strategies like inquiry learning, cognitive apprenticeship, and problem-based instruction. Metacognitive strategy also essential to guide learners in monitoring their learning progress. In the assessment process, assessment should also align with instructional goals and emphasizing on feedback provision as dynamic assessment supports. Despite its limitation, cognitivism is still relevant and foundation in providing information about how learners think, learn, and grow. It helps educators to design instruction that respecting the boundaries cognitive processes. It is hoped that students can benefit from this theory because it can support them in become reflective and independent learners in the future. Thank you for watching this video. I do hope that this critical analysis could give some insight for the educators and my fellow colleagues in understanding how learners are learned. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.